it's Lady Boulay, and thank you for clicking on the video. I just wanted to do this quick update of Fanis Willis to say that the judge has ruled and said that she may proceed with the case against Donald Trump that she accused of trying to steal the election in 2020. It was always about what the law said, what was legal. It was not about her poor judgment in choosing a man that she was in a romantic relationship with to be her co-prosecutor. That was very poor judgment on her part. But I was offended by the fact that people thought that she had to hire him, a man who had a job, that she would have to hire him so he could pay for her to go on a date with him. I was highly offended by that. That was insulting to a black woman and the black man. And for the person who asked me if I was in favor of adultery, no, I'm not. I'm a married woman. I would be highly offended if my husband was having an affair with a woman. I would be more angry with him, but I certainly would not have any respect for her. But this was not about what she did or what he said or what the ex-wife said. Other people are more angry about this than the ex-wife. This was about what was legal, and it was about them dragging her through the mud to embarrass her, to bully her into not prosecuting this case. So for that reason, I'm glad that the judge ruled by the law and not by public opinion, or not by the fact that she made a poor judgment in her relationship and in selecting this particular man. So now that she didn't get kicked off the case, I have been listening to these news channels, and these white people, white women and men, are making a beeline to the news channels to say how she has been damaged and how much Trump is going to go after her and how weakened she's going to be. I beg to differ. I don't think she will be weakened. I think she will be more fierce than ever, because she knows they tried to bully her, they tried to humiliate her, and they tried to embarrass her because she had the nerve to go after Donald Trump, their savior. And I was just looking at a segment from Jake Tapper on CNN, and he had 2 or 3 white people, a biracial man, and a black woman who just sat there and grinned. And all of them were proclaiming what a hard time she was going to have going after Donald Trump. Now, she had the nerve to bring the case. They tried to bring a case against her. She stood up to that, and now she has prevailed. She won, no matter how you cut it. She won, and now they think she's been weakened. I wouldn't be weakened if I knew exactly what my enemy was trying to do to me. I would sharpen my knives and I would go in fighting. She has already paid for every indiscretion that she made with Mr. Wade. Her father was dragged out and put on the witness stand, trying to make him say something against his own child. Mr. Wade's law partner was brought out, and they kept him on the stand forever, trying to make him say what they wanted him to say. They threw everything, including the kitchen sink, at Fanis Willis. And the judge, to his credit or discredit, gave them every opportunity to prove anything and everything they had to prove against her. And they were not able to do it. They dragged it out as long as they could. It was just a clown show. It was just a clown show. They were trying to bring her down to the level that her morale would be so low. I guess they thought that she would just throw in the towel, but she didn't do it. One of the hypocritical things about the American public is that somebody like Donald Trump can do every low-down thing he can think of to other people, but then when you get up and speak up for yourself, they judge you and your behavior, especially a black person, from a moral standpoint. They brought her into court to embarrass and humiliate her. She came in there swinging when she came to speak up for herself. She was not on trial. They were trying to put her on trial, as she said, but she stood up for herself. And then you have these raggedy people talking about how she behaved, her conduct in court. She didn't cuss anybody out. She didn't call anybody out of their names. She just spoke up for herself. But somehow she was wrong. But it was not wrong for them to try to steal that election and disenfranchise Georgia voters. There was nothing immoral about what they did. But somehow it was immoral for her to come in there and firmly take a stand for herself and her character. It is so hypocritical that it's just almost unbelievable. So I don't operate on the idea that anybody is perfect. Certainly she made a bad decision in getting involved with a man that she wanted to work on that case with her. So the judge said that she can stay on the case if he's removed. So the judge, I think, made a fair ruling that he could have made without trying to humiliate her, which is what they tried to do. But I'm glad she stood her ground, and I'm glad the judge ruled by what the law says, not how I feel, not how anybody else feels, and not how Donald Trump people feel. And they're so sure that he's going to go in and he's going to win this case. Well, he hasn't won any other case. He just lost a case on a white woman for $83 million. He got to pay her for something he did 25, 30 years ago. So I don't see him winning everything. What I see him doing is trying to embarrass everybody and try to destroy anybody who has the courage to come after him. But I don't see him winning because he's losing case after case after case. He's already $400 million in debt. So we'll see if he wins. But what was important for me is that he gets up there and have to pay for what he did, or has to answer to what they say he did, just like anybody else. He's no more to have to pay for what he did than anybody else. If that was a black man that tried to steal an election in Georgia, he would already be in jail. So he's no more to have to pay for what he did than anybody else. And I don't see the Republican Party as being any better than the Democratic Party. I have said repeatedly, my father's brother, my uncle, told us when we were kids, it's not a nigger's worth of difference between a white Democrat and a white Republican. It just depends on who you as a black person choose to support. But neither one of them is any better than the other. They're both batting for the same team. One is a right-handed batter, the other is a left-handed batter. That's how I look at it. So neither one of them is my savior. So they're no more to have to pay for what they did or what they've been accused of doing than anybody else. So I'm glad that she's staying on the case, and I absolutely hope that she gives it her best shot and that justice wins. If he didn't do it, then he'll get off. And if he did, he'll have to pay for it just like anybody else. Okay, thank you for listening. Subscribe to the channel. Give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment. Share the video. And as always, have a great day.